Welcome everyone. This is a shot for the Inhibited. My name is Wale Odelata, your host for the day, and this is a very, 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 very special episode. We have brought over two of our friends to join in. Yeah, we'll discuss this offline. For this show, for the purpose of this show, we have to call each other friends. Fair. So we'll start from the left side with this stubborn guy already.
My name is Steve Eguasa, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
With you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah. My name is Yemi Akesanya, and I'm also happy to be here with just two knuckleheads.
Why is it that's the way men know how to show love?
Yeah,
just because you guys just come here and you have to this was not
wasn't love. It's the truth.
Yeah,
my own thing is, why are you just inviting us now? Why are you inviting us now? Since you've been
this might be the first episode, and this not what you just said right now will not make any sense.
Oh, really?
But finally,
okay. Hello.
Finally, we have our program director in the back.
Yeah. I thought you guys forgot me.
I saw your face already. You were getting ready to talk. I was like, don't worry,
behind the
We're
camera,
coming to you.
man. Yeah,
Why does Stokes get a director position?
If you handle this,
You
if
guys-
you handle
because
this,
I'm a
you
good
handle
guy.
this one,
I-
guys.
You don't see how this beard, gray
You handle
hair.
this one.
Is there a co-host?
I'm a big boy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. So no, we're going to jump in this episode. Just so you know, this episode we're really going to be talking about friendships. These are people that I've known going 24 years now, actually. Yeah. So we're gonna just talk about certain things that we've been through. So before we even go further, the first question is, let's talk about how we met.
That was an interesting one. I think let me start because the way I came into the whole fold was so went to South Suburban College, right?
South suburbs of Chicago.
In Illinois, around Chicago, in South Holland. So I came from Nigeria right out of secondary school. So my sister was already here. That's the only person I knew. So she was going to a different junior college, and they dumped me in South Suburban. So I didn't know anybody. So I just came out of one of my class, just like, man, not so Yankee be all this whole time where they watch Yankee for TV. Is this it? As I was coming out of the class, just on lunch break, I just saw some people screaming in the cafeteria. You dey crazy, you dey mad. Now, as I be pass you, come on for your Jerry, I go just slap. I said, now my people be that too. So I just started, gravitating towards the cafeteria. As soon as I got to the open space, I saw Tokes, I saw Wale, I saw Tony, I saw Shola. I think Shola was there too. So I was like, I just rode up to them, just confident. I say, our boys are far now. Hey, we see the apple. Yeah. So we just introduced ourselves.
I think that was it.
That was it.
Every day after that, we were
That was
meeting in the
it.
same
That
spot.
was it.
And for me, so I'm going to tell mine in two stories, right? So I'm going to tell my perspective from how I met Omar, and then I will talk about how I met Wale. So meeting Omar was very funny as well. So Wale and I were already friends for years prior to that time. So this was probably like...
You need to clarify who Omar is. A lot of people don't
Steve,
know.
sorry. Omar is Steve. Omar is his name in Nigeria.
Listen, I dropped my slave name.
Go figure.
I dropped my slave name when I went to Nigeria.
So the thing was that, Wale and I used to play basketball all the time when we were younger. And we'll talk about that when we talk about how we met.
I used to get in that ass.
Of course he did. And so one time he came up like, yo, there's this one guy who's cool with me. Because at this time as well, Wale was in junior college. I was still in high school. And Wale told Steve. So anyway, so Wale was like, yo, there's this one Nigerian guy that plays ball. I'm like, Nigerian guy, what guy? I was like, I want to have people now. He doesn't speak English very well. He hacks a lot. But he's cool. I'm like, what do you mean he's cool? He's like, no, he's a cool guy.
I have to say something to that.
I was like, okay, we'll see. So one of these days, I said, let me go join them and play basketball. So when I got to the basketball court, I saw this one guy, tall, lanky, really big, strong head. I thought it was like maybe one
Let's
of the...
call him Mutombo.
Right. He looked like he was at least, at the time we were teenagers, he looked like he was at least in his 30s. So I was like, okay, this is big.
He looked like LeBron.
So when it
like
was like,
LeBron now.
So when it was like, okay, this is the friend. I'm like, this guy's older than us. This guy's probably older than Tokes. It was like, no, it's Amit. So that's how I met Steve. And we played ball there, then he was the greatest hack. He was very athletic.
I used to hack. So
that was the story with Steve. With Wale, oh man, it was funny. So this is when we just came to the US in '96. Tokes and I had an older brother who was very close friends with his older brother. and was like, yo, I'm just take you to my friend's house. He has a little brother about your age. I mean, you guys can probably hang out. I'm like, oh, whatever. So I get there, and when we got there, it was just me and Toke sitting on the couch. Wale wasn't home at the time. So we're just chilling, and my brother had gone upstairs to talk. So all of a sudden, the door opens up, and this one really skinny black boy walks in. And as he walks in, he sees us on the couch and doesn't speak. And immediately, he just does this real quick. So like when you walk into the room, there's the living room here, and there's the stairs upstairs. He just does this real quick and just sprints up the stairs, you know. And then Wallace and I was trying to show his speed. You know, like when you see someone else, you want to show like you have ability. Like,
He's still trying to show his speed to now.
So I look at Toke's like, oh, what the hell was that? The guy didn't even say hi to us or nothing. Anyway, and then he comes back down and says, what's up? And he was like, and Wale had a really, really severe lisp.
Remember that.
Do you play basketball? I get basketball in my backyard.
He got a lot of crap for that.
Basketball.
Wale got a lot of crap for that. Wale got a lot of
So
crap
I'm like,
for that.
sure. Anyway,
Wale
so
got a
that's
lot
how
of crap
I met. That's how I met Wale. Then we play basketball.
First of all, he called me skinny. He called me skinny. Skinny black boy. We have to clarify this thing. Yemi was a freaking boxer and arm wrestler as a
At
kid.
9 years old.
He was unusually freaking swole as a little kid. This guy was a 7-year-old
We're not attacking each
Hercules.
other, you guys. We're not attacking
No,
each other.
I just wanted to let you know, saying that's Kenya's perception.
Let me throw my.
So sorry. Yemi was saying I couldn't speak English because hold on.
was a bit aggressive.
It's because I came from straight from
Warri.
Warri. My pidgin was
FGC.
different. So they were still like, yeah, what's this guy talking about? So I came off as an Agbe with them.
Those English night classes help.
They definitely help. English composition 1 and 2. Sounds over.
No. Okay, for me,
Yeah.
I met Wale earlier than Yemi did. So
Yeah.
obviously I went to South Suburban also with Wale. And when I came straight from Nigeria, I only came to America. Let me start off. The reason I came to America is because of the strike we had in Nigeria for the university. So I took that opportunity. My mom and my brother always wanted me to come. So I just said, let me just go see. I thought I made the biggest mistake because when I came, it was in December. It was winter. It was dark. It started getting dark at 4 o'clock. I was confused.
Yeah.
So long story short, I went to South Suburban College. And then I used to just go to school, class, go straight home. My mom would come scoop me up, go straight home. That was just my routine. So one day, I was waiting for my mom to come pick me up. And I heard these two people sound Nigerian. It was Wale's sister, Shola, and her friend. And they were talking. I said, these people are my people. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, can I talk to them? I shouldn't say anything. The friend left. And they're talking to Wale's sister. And I say, hey, you're Nigerian? Because I can hear from the accent. She's like, yeah, I'm Nigerian too. Like, yeah. She's like, I've never seen you before. I said, I just got here. She's like, I said, I don't really like it here because I don't really know anybody. I'm still thinking I want to go back to Nigeria because I know everybody there. She was there are a lot of Nigerians that go here. Don't you know my brother, Wale? I'm like, no, never heard of him.
By the way, Toke,
My girl was a digit.
small boy was
So,
I'm glad you guys
so I was like, no, I've never met him before. She was like, okay, it's 4 o'clock right now. Most of the people have left. Tomorrow, meet up with me. So tomorrow I came this time after my class. I think it was about noon, 1 o'clock. And now she was saying, my brother's around here. Let me look for him. That's how Wale came to. Now she introduced us. This is Tokes. This is my brother Wale. We're like, who do you like, Penny Hardaway or Michael Jordan? Immediately. That's the first thing.
You got a test
friendship.
I was like, of course I like Michael Jordan. Of course you're going to pick Michael. Everybody picks Michael. He's like, don't you know all the other? And I was like, I don't know them. He said, come. We always meet at the cafeteria around 1 o'clock, around lunch. I was like, cool. Then he just took me to cafeteria and I just started.
It's like a new world.
My whole life changed.
There was some interesting conversations in that cafeteria.
That was my
people were getting slapped.
Oh
That was
my
my
God.
story.
Yeah, let's not get yeah.
No, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah. So let's talk about. I was just gonna go with my question here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about how friends come, go, and some stay. Throughout people's lives, and I think for me personally, I felt like when I moved here again, it was my older sister. She's a few years older than me, so I couldn't relate with her too much. She had her own friends, so I was still just running around in there until I met you guys as friends, and we immediately grew into another family. Some of my siblings were still in Nigeria, so we grew into another family immediately. I felt comfortable immediately. It's like I was excited, like I'm not alone anymore, you know, because before then I was lashing out, I was rebelling, you know, I didn't want to talk to my parents when they called me, like, why you guys send me here? I had so much plans for Nigeria. It was straight from FGC Warri to Uniben. My life was set. Why did you come dump me here? You know, I was doing stupid
I felt
rubbish.
the same way.
You know, for no reason, I'll just go to the store. I'll just go to the store, you know, pick up. I'll just buy a packet of cigarettes. You know, I was doing rubbish. Then when I met you guys as friends, everything now calmed
So
down.
it sounds like we saved your life.
It really does.
No. You gotta think about the mental state at that point in time. I was very furious. I had so much plans. Oh, sorry, I need to backtrack. How did I leave Nigeria? I was doing what I was doing in
Hold on.
secondary school.
What is this Corona? Toast, can we get mask?
Corona, where's Corona?
You can't be coughing anyhow.
Can't
Act
copy
like
this.
it's okay.
You can't be coughing and just play it
everything
off.
okay?
The throat clear.
Okay, sorry.
So sorry. So let me quickly go back to how I got here. So I just got into SS3 first term. I shockingly became a prefect. My parents was like, "How did this guy become a prefect?"
You know that one they do for bad
But
kids to turn them
of all
straight.
the kids, all the times I entered the principal's office, you know. So my dad was like, "Come, I'm going on a board meeting with your mother, you know, in Brussels, Belgium. Come with us, and if not, we'll go to Chicago to go see your older sister." I'm like, why not? I was telling my people in school, like, listen, when I come back from Yankee, we are shutting this school down. They didn't say anything though. We did everything bang, bang, on the plane, we're somewhere above the Atlantic Ocean. No? And I looked at my mom. I said, see, last semester when I was in SS2, because we beat up one of the SS3 boys as they were finishing their final exam, they destroyed my locker, so I need to fix it. My mom was like, oh, you won't need your locker. I said, you don't need that locker. I said, perfect, I'll just do new one. My dad was like, no, she means that you are not going back. We're 34,000 feet above sea level.
So you never finished?
I never finished.
Oh, I never knew that.
I never finished. Because that's what I'm saying, I left first term. Like, even people in my secondary school were crying that I didn't come back. They were crying.
I had a similar story.
They were crying. So that's why I came to Yankee now, and I just, did my GED and then landed in South Suburban. But again, when I was rebelling, I was pissed off. So when I met you guys,
you
you
said
really
that to
definitely,
say, your question is,
that I appreciated the fact that I came across people that had the same values as myself, that shared, the whole views on family, friendship, what loyalty means, or whatnot. And even up to this day, we still practice the same things. I say practice, even practice might be strong enough. It comes easy, right. When it comes to us. So I want to get you guys' own point of view. I think that was mine. So,
So the way I guess I think the original topic or the original question, because we went a lot of places with this.
Yeah.
But was friends that go in and out, that come and go.
Yeah.
So the way I've always seen that is like people get what from whatever this is. Like you get what you want from it.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you've gotten enough from it, like I'm okay. Sometimes it's perplexing. Like what happened here? Like, in many situations, I'm not calling names. But yeah, there's been some of those situations like, what happened now? How do we even get here?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to say, okay, that person has gotten all they can from this relationship.
they moved on.
And there's been many cases where people did that.
Yeah.
Right, for a year.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's like, all right, I'm back now. So whatever it is that they were going through, they went through it, they passed it, and then eventually they came back. So
yeah,
I'll say I try not to think. Of course, this stings if you have a friend that you'd go a year or so without speaking to. It stings.
Yeah.
But I try not to take it as personal, because if they come back,
back. Yeah.
We're here now.
No, I get that. I like that perspective too, because I think I wouldn't say I really experienced it from that point of view, because the people I call my core friends are kind of like family to me. So if you just kind of came into the picture and then you eventually wandered off, I didn't even think like, oh, this person just came and left or whatever the case is. It's just okay, you moved on.
For me, it's kind of similar to what Wale was saying. I as a person, I think it's fair to say this. I as a person, I really appreciate and value respect, and I really appreciate and value loyalty. those two things are core to my being.
Yeah.
So when I have friends or acquaintances or what have you, it takes me a while to get to the point where I feel comfortable enough to say they're my friend. You know, because I have to feel confident that there's a sense of loyalty there. Like there's a sense of, and loyalty to me is not necessarily like you got my back, I got your back. Loyalty is just more of like there's a mutual understanding that's deeper than X, Y, and Z. So, like even for Steve, for example, it took me a while to. I mean, maybe you don't even know this. It took me a while to feel a sense of
because I
loyalty,
met,
to Steve. Like Steve was always,
know
and partly, to be fair, partly was because maybe I'm guessing, you know, this is part of my whole, you know, therapy reflection thing, where I start to think about why I did certain things and how I felt. I think it's probably because I met Steve through introduction through Wale, and Steve and Wale had this, I guess you could say, friendship that it wasn't like it was threatening, but it was a connection through school. Maybe there was jealousy there. I don't know. It just felt like I wanted, you know what I mean? So when I was with Steve, it was like, oh, well, his friend Steve in my mind.
Yeah.
So even when I'm with Steve and we're hanging out, we're kicking it, it was still kind of like, and Steve, and if anyone who knows Omo is very strong-willed in his way. You know, very strong-willed. So it took a while, but man, as soon as it got to the point that I started coming to terms with who he was, it was extreme. Like my loyalty to him is extreme.
And sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I have to talk about Yemi is one of those people that if you're mad at someone, you don't want to let Yemi know.
Oh my God!
Until you know for sure that you're really mad at this person. You know what I mean? Because he really is like there's a protective. Yeah. Oh my God!
Don't get on his bad side.
That I really just wanted to throw that where you mentioned your loyalty and like how you handle your friends. But
no, fair. But anyway, to cut a long story short, which is fair. Yeah. To cut a long story short, I'm this kind of person that, you know, it's family to me. Yeah. I grew up. And I think it comes to how I grew up. I grew up at a very young age of 6. I was in a boarding school, so I didn't have family around. So I felt like I was forced to use friends as family.
Sorry, can you briefly touch on your boxing career at 9 years old?
I'm not talking about that.
Come on, man. Just briefly.
At least the arm wrestling.
Not wrestling.
Let them know this gun didn't come from nowhere.
You guys, no, I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I need to step in. We need leadership here. If not, these guys will bully me.
I forgot what happened then. Go ahead and tell us the story. What happened? This is your boxing
career.
Yeah, I didn't have a boxing. First of all, I didn't have a boxing career.
I'm wrestling.
Here's the story. Here's the story. I'll make it really quick. Here's the story. So when I was in this school called Kuti International School in Shagamu at the age of 6, the way it worked was that they put us in a lot of activities. So in this boarding school,
if you were small, if they give birth to you a muscle, you go to that. You go to that school. Let me tell the story. Carry on. It was gifted.
So anyway, so they had karate, they had boxing, they had arm wrestling, they had all these different things. So I was my main sport or choice of activity was arm wrestling, and others had boxing. I was sub for boxing. You know, everybody has rank. So long story short, we had to this competition when Nigeria was competing in. We had to go to 7 countries. Kuti was participating. I was representing Nigeria through my school. We went to Togo, Ghana, Benin Republic, Cameroon, all these places to go compete. So I was competing arm wrestling. I was kicking yanyash. You know, obviously I was a sharp guy.
I was a bad guy.
Baddest. But anyway, I think we're in Ghana, and our boxer got sick and couldn't box his fight. And this was right before the fight. So they were like, oh, Yemi, obviously you're on this trip. As a sub falling, you know, so they put in a gear, I get in there. And I went in there and I held my own. So I don't know what this whole plan is about. This guy's
don't don't skip that part.
You know,
don't skip the juicy parts. What are you talking about?
That's how you're going to end
drop the juicy parts.
I boxed. Okay, the guy that I was boxing was bigger than me, and it hurt me a little bit. But I didn't, you know, I lost.
I didn't get knocked out. First of all, Yemi only remembered entering the ring.
That's the only part you remember.
The next day he woke up, they were telling him what happened and why he had a chip tooth. He was like, fight don't start.
Oh God.
Clara. Yeah, back to our regular scheduled program.
I think you guys really touched up on the whole friendship thing. They come and go. The only thing I'll add to it is, I think as a group of friends, we challenge ourselves a lot, good, bad, or ugly, in different areas in life.
Yep.
And I've learned that not a lot of people can handle that.
Yeah.
So it's not for everybody. So some people come say, sometimes they might actually come off as challenging your manhood. So that's like we said, we've been friends for over about 24 years, if not more.
Yeah.
And we're used to that.
And we grew up together.
We grew up together,
grew
so
up,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Like,
And we challenge everything. You know what I'm
bad,
saying?
ugly.
Hey,
Fight,
nothing like that.
Yambo said me.
I can tell them I'm a black.
You can't tell your own story like, nah, fam.
Fam.
I knew when you was born.
I can tell them I'm a black man, and then they will tell me to prove it. They're not very, you know what I'm saying? Google that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
God.
they're very, very challenging that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes it might not work for everybody, but the people it does work with, they stick around. For the people that it doesn't, they don't. But what I've also learned in life, to me in general, is that we all need people at different phases of our life, and sometimes people might need us in their lives. And if it doesn't, once they get what they want for the friendship, they move on. So there's always love, no hate.
That's all.
Yeah, that's
So
fair, that's
this
fair.
will make me move on to our next conversation, which I said we do push ourselves a lot. And so I'm going to pick up the conversation about just our work, our education in general. Like for me now, I feel my friends actually pushed me because I think it took me a long time to get my degree. I was a professional student. When I came to this country, I started off as a civil engineer. Then I moved on to being a computer engineer. Then I went on to doing accounting.
Accounting, bro. Accounting.
Before I end up finishing with MIS. So it took me a while. But all my friends had already at least either gotten their degrees or close to getting their degrees.
Yeah.
And so that continued to inspire me. So no matter where I went in life, whether it's to work or whatever, I still thought at the back of my mind, I need to get my own too. I'm a smart guy. Can't be arguing with this guy. They argue a lot. Let me tell you guys, these guys argue a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Grab conversations.
First of all,
discussions
first of
a
all,
lot.
Tux is out here talking about this guy's arguing a lot.
Let's do it.
The king of
Those
arguing.
king.
I'm a very quiet guy.
MJ.
Yeah, I'm a very quiet guy. So, but that inspired me to go and get my own degree, and then I ended up getting my master's. And then also work is the same way too. We're all close in the same profession. We're all in IT in some kind of way.
Yep.
Some people have other
Not
experiences
anymore.
in finances and now DNI and stuff like that. Is it DNI?
Yeah.
Yeah. They want to mess that up. That's in DNA. What do you want to talk about? Exactly.
Diversity and occlusion.
So I just want to. That's my story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I just want to know what you guys' story. Did anybody kind of push you, or were you self motivated, or were you the person that was a trailblazer, or whatnot?
Yeah. For me, my parents were always telling me, "You are going to be a medical doctor. You will go to school. You do what you need to do. Go to medical school and be Dr. Steve Egwasa." That was it. So I came here like, okay, that's fair. So I was a biochemistry major for a couple of years. I looked at it like, man, I mean, not like I wasn't doing well. It's just that I wasn't enjoying it. It's not like when we were back in secondary school where they force you to take how many subjects in a day. That you have to do it. You have to do it to get to move along. But I just wasn't enjoying it. Then I switched from biochemistry major to psychology. I'm like, that's still close. I can still be talking psychology.
You're gonna be a psychologist.
I don't know psychology, bro. Come on, like, listen. Come on, like, don't think I put that off. I can listen to people's problems and tell them.
I can listen to
where they
people
fucked up.
tell them what they
Where the fuck- that's where you
they're
fucked up.
from psychology, and like, then I was moving on from South Suburban to Purdue.
Right.
I'm like, I like computers, and I was talking to my uncle about it. My uncle, computers is hot right now. You should get into that field. Okay, all right, no problem. So I switched to software engineering. And I was just doing software engineering for some time, and I'm like, man, this thing doesn't make any sense. But I was looking at it, just like you said, time was just going. My parents were looking at me like, are you going to graduate at all? Like, what are you doing with your life? So I just, I'm just going to do something. So I ended up doing, computer information systems, which I ended up getting a master's in computer information technology.
The first one amongst our friends.
So and by the way, when I did the master's, when I was doing my master's, it was a 24-month program I completed in 18 months. That's when I actually partied the most. Shockingly. That's what I panicked.
Sorry to cut you off, Steve. I think you're the first amongst us to get your master's degree. But funny enough, that's not what inspired me. In fact, I blamed you for not even encouraging me to finish on time. What inspired me about Steve, if I can tell the story, is Steve worked this job called Stick and Shake
I'll tell you.
for
It was
10
amazing.
years.
It was amazing. Longer than
That to me, he's the
11
hardest-
years,
he
11
was-
years.
11 years.
Right.
He was the hardest working person I know.
I swear.
Between the times I had no job, between the times I had job, Steve
swear.
was
I fed this
constantly
nigga
working.
I fed them a lot.
Any time of the hour, he worked all hours of the day, all distances.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
It was incredible how, and the funny thing is, it was actually a situation that made him have to work those jobs for that long. I don't know if you want to tell your own story, but the whole immigration issues, and finally getting a good job and not having to stick with that job
You
so
have
he
to
can
stick
get
with
his.
the job, because I didn't
And
have.
they were willing to work with you.
Yeah, because they knew they say we know you are here illegally, but your father has filed the life act,
And
so
we're like,
just
screw
you
it,
can't leave this job. So I just made the best of it, and 11 years I was at Steak and Shake until I eventually got
Senior guy, they gave me a wristwatch.
I told my
Ramon
father.
Wells.
I told my father.
Steve had stocks.
Let me just marry. Yeah, I had stocks now. I had to go. I said, let me just marry and get this way. Don't you try it. Don't you try it. I've seen friends when I was going to school in Florida. Don't you try it. So I left the marriage thing out of there and just did it the hard way. But yeah, I mean,
And if I may,
Yeah.
to echo Toke's sentiment, easily, Steve's, when they say work hard, play hard, I don't think anyone exudes
I agree.
an example of what that is.
I worked.
Yeah.
but I
I'm
played
talking about
hard.
since we were kids. Steve is a person that we would take a trip to Atlanta. Back in those days, we used to have like reunions. Steve would follow us to Atlanta reunion, and Steve would be reason we're coming back a day early because he has to work at 9 a.m. I
gotta
we're
work.
driving
We're driving from the road trip. We're taking them straight to
straight to work to drop him off.
Man,
And
Steve has been fired like 10 times and they'll bring him back.
then we'll visit Steve.
They need me, man. They need
We'll
me.
visit Steve and Steak and Shake. See Hank. Until we back there doing.
Man.
We'll be
But
I
talking
literally was just telling someone this story. I think 2 days.
I was the
ago.
best dishwasher they ever hired.
Good days,
in
man.
'98.
So for me, in terms of education and I'm so excited you even posed the question. But for me, I felt like growing up, my story is very unique because I grew up with Tokes as my brother, and Tokes was
His best experience
Why
ever.
you say like that?
Tokes
I grew up
was
with Tux
His
as my
best
brother.
experience.
Tux as my
Let me
girlfriend.
give you a close
Tux as my
up.
wife.
I don't want to
Let me give you a close up.
Why did he say like that?
Give me
We're about to
best
find out why I said like that.
Okay.
And you guys understand why. So Tokes is naturally a very competitive genius. So in school, Tokes was always top 3% ever since I've known him in my entire life, from early school age. And I have been the exact opposite. I've been the bottom 10% in my school throughout schooling. So my father always couldn't understand how both of us were his kids. And one was extremely just on top of his grades all the time, and the other one was at the end. So that always did something, and I really started to feel like, oh Lord, only me. I just don't know book. I started to really believe that. So coming to Yankee, I started seeing, America is different. I started seeing some sort of, I started entering honors roll things. I don't know how I got into those things, but I started doing those things. So it started giving me a sense of, okay, maybe I'm not fully Olodo. There are some things I might know. Maybe it's to how I can do wudu to get the good grades. I don't know. So that was my thing. And then my friends. So for me, I felt like I was always trying to catch up. When I was in high school, my very close friends, the others, were in college, junior college or regular. So again, I was always in this position of, let me get out of high school so I can be in college. So I felt like there was that. So I got into the whole mode of, and luckily I was in a system that was somewhat structured. High school, then I played college. I played college football. And then in college football, they give you all these things to support you from your education perspective. And then I got lucky with that, got my bachelor's degree. And I started looking for a job. And I was looking for a job. I got one year job that I was doing for a while. And then Wale was in QA at the time. And I was like, yo, Shifo, this QA thing you're doing, got half hour now. Wale was like, easy. So Wale worked to help teach me how QA would work. So I got into IT and then luckily got into a good company and worked my way into a situation. And then next thing I know, I started working for a company that had tuition reimbursements. At the time, Steve had got his master's. So I was like, my company's doing tuition reimbursement. Let me go and try and try my luck, even though I don't like school. So I got my master's in communication. Luckily, boom, 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 end up in this company. And after a while, I was like, another opportunity to go get an MBA. Sure, why not? If someone's paying for it, I won't say no. And so that's how I felt like the inspiration from the people around me, right? Because I think that's important, right? They tell you, show me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. That plus, I just happen to be extremely lucky in lucky positions, and I think that's how I kind of.
At least you had something to chase after. You had something inspire you and motivate you to go. When I did my masters, my parents didn't know. They found out when I was graduated.
No, your master's program that you did was one. You did that thing so silently and so easily.
I said that's when I partied the most.
Yeah, no, it was almost like you weren't in school.
I don't even know what that's what I party the most mean, because I don't think since I met you guys we have stopped.
Okay.
As a group we have
At that stage,
But it didn't come up though. I don't think it ever came up. Like other times, I remember where either school in undergrad or other things kind of interfered with your work. I don't remember grad school ever. I'm not with your work, with your fun. I don't remember grad school ever affecting your fun.
But one thing grad school, sorry to cut you off, but one thing grad school is designed to work around your
people
life.
that are working. So that makes it a lot.
That was
That's
a big
what I'm saying.
one.
I think that makes it a lot easier.
Because I was a software engineer for a company in Munster, Indiana then. So I would finish on my work. At that point, it was a family-owned business. So I finished on my work, and then what homework do I have? What quiz do I have? And just knock them out while I was there. So by the time I came home and everybody was partying, me too, I was partying as well, because like I'm not going to miss out on this, So I
Steve would grab his things and drive all the way to what do you call it, downtown Chicago, and spend the whole weekend. And then you already had his routine.
I had my routine, So it's kind of work out with what, but. My masters, I didn't really need it, at least.
Okay, 6 enough is enough. You're doing.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I don't know why I'm so fantastic.
I'm not saying I didn't really need it. I didn't for my career.
No, but yeah, for me, I think you can actually literally find, education-wise, you can literally find all of my true sources of inspiration in this room. I actually can't say that. No, no, but like for real.
I think
again, we've already mentioned Steve. Steve was like the first to like go into all of these heights and just
break those walls down.
like broke those walls down at the time, and we were anyway. So that was there, and then same thing with Yemi. We saw Yemi go through. You got your regular degree, you got your master's in communication, and then went back for your executive MBA.
Yeah.
And then Tokes graduated. Bam, he went for his master's in Guinea immediately.
Knock him out.
So you're around all of these things, and I'm a rebellious person. My path was different. I got an internship when I was in college, and then that translated into me working full time. So I had a job that was paying me like the career that you would want.
Very nicely too.
Right. So as people, every time I would be achieving these things in terms of work, people would be telling me about school and like the fact that I've not done this. So as a rebellious person, I'm like, you know what? Fuck y'all. I want no parts of this. I'm gonna keep making money and keep doing other things. But anyway, you learn after with time that, even that was there. There's those glass ceilings and those things that you don't know about that are there, and like these are the little things that they use to make those extra decisions. And then now you turn around and look around, and everyone has those things, and I'm like, makes sense.
Yeah.
So yes, I will be graduating in December. My business analytics degree, double major, MIS on business analytics.
It's party time.
And then law school after that, but we'll deal with that later.
Wale is a typical Niger person, man.
Come on. Come on, clear up.
I have a question for you guys. So I'll tell you this. And I'm speaking through my experience of dating over my short amount of life, because I'm only 28 years old.
What?
This guy just robbed himself for 10 years, like right in front of everybody. That's armed robbery.
A question that I've gotten often from women that I've dated or girlfriends at the time was, and I want to hear from Steve and Wally and Tokes on how you guys answer this challenge, if you've experienced it. It's always around, you're spending too much time with your friends more than me. Or a situation where there's that conflict of, I'm going to hang with the boys of black again, but we haven't. And so they kind of feel a sense of, spend time with me, Jesus. I mean, it's always, Wale, Steve, Stokes, all the time.
That was
like, how about, so my question to you guys is, as general, how have you typically responded to your girlfriends, maybe you've had a time to say, hey, listen, honey, this is not like a competition. It's just that I have grown up, I spent the last 26 years or 20 years or 10 years, depending on the time, with this guy. And it seems like when I'm around them, I have a lot of fun. And we do stuff that I actually enjoy doing that's not necessarily.
Why would you say that?
And not to say I don't have fun with you, it's just different kind of fun.
That
it really is.
That is already done at that point.
I'm just saying.
I have fun. I have fun with them. And I have fun with you.
You can tell I've done a really bad job with this.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know how you guys have handled that conversation with them and say, hey, listen, there is no competition here. It's just that, how have you handled that conversation, or what was your approach in responding to that?
For me, I can go first. For me, I think it's changed over time. So in my younger days, I was more of the rebellious kind, like almost like Wale, but in a different way.
Almost like, Wale, could you expound upon that?
Just like Wale mentioned, where he's rebellious. When people want you to do something and something else is working for you, you're like, I don't have time for that. I felt the same way. I've always been with my girlfriends when I was younger. There's no competition.
Yeah.
My family comes first.
Yeah.
At the time, these friends I had were like brothers to their family. They always come first.
Yep.
You're never going to win a competition battle.
Yeah.
So, if you need me to spend more time with you, I'll try my best to.
Yeah.
But it's never going to be a competition where you feel I must spend as much time as I spend with other people with you.
Yeah.
As I got older, I just became more strategic.
Yeah.
If the boys are talking about Saturday is gonna be juicy, we're train one hang
all the rest of the
then
time.
I'm like, on Tuesday, babe, what you doing after work? What you doing after school? Let's hang out in the evening.
Can I interject for 5 seconds and push back on that notion?
No problem.
On that notion, because especially with us, we are the most spontaneous people ever. You typically don't have 5 days.
Very spontaneous.
90% of the things that we do.
Very spontaneous.
Right, so maybe it's work for you, but I'm just...
Yeah, no. In other cases, I lie. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it real.
No. Sometimes you just gotta lie. You just have to let her know that something came up.
Yeah, right.
You know, my mom, and the good thing I have my mom, my older brother, my sister in this country. So it's always the best excuse. My mom has to do something, so I'm gonna go do it. But guess what? I have a better plan for you.
Yeah.
Tuesday after work. I got you.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do. And say normally it's your mom. They understand. And then when I'm at that place, I'll just hit that. I just get finished with my mom. But the day's already late. We still got our Tuesday. I'll probably just go hang out with the guys real quick.
Yeah.
And then I'll hit you up once I'm leaving there.
Okay, Tokes, I'm not on Tokes on this one. Another 5 seconds interjection.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself downplaying the kind of fun you have with your friends so they don't feel some
Oh no,
way?
I've learned that. I never even bring it up.
No, I'm talking about, for example, they say, oh, how was the time you get with the boys yesterday? Do you go, man, it was all,
No,
you just go like,
of course not.
okay.
Of course not. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Naturally,
It's never gonna be. The only thing that kills me is the pictures and videos I always put up. If you're looking too juicy, you're like, wait, when did you guys plan this? I like, it's last minute.
Oh God, you didn't have fun, Abi.
Yeah.
You didn't have fun, Abi.
No, it makes sense.
No, so for me, I didn't do what you did. No.
What does that mean? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
I don't know what it is. I think I
didn't do it.
Let's start here.
Hold on. I had my share of relationships or partners who wanted me to spend 100% of our time together.
Oh my God.
Steve.
Okay,
Relax.
I don't want to call it
Relax.
But Steve definitely had the most clingy girl.
I would speak
Oh my goodness.
Listen, you guys, we would be
I was so
at
nice.
events.
I was so nice.
And he'll bring his partner with him or his girlfriend with him at the time. And we'll all be hanging out, and all of a sudden Steve will disappear for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's Steve so we can take this shot or let's, And then we'll look in the corner, and we sit in the corner talking to him.
Accurate.
For 2 hours.
Steve probably spent 5 seconds talking to another girl.
I know that. Oh my God. See,
I feel bad for him.
See, I didn't. Listen. No, it took me some time to understand this, by the way. So I would have to, like, they want me to spend 100% of the time. Like, come on, like, I'm still me. Like, I'm still an individual, right? there are things that I love to do for fun. Hang out with my boys, whether we're playing sports, going out to parties, or whatever the case is. I still have fun doing that. I need to do those things. But as we got older, I have to understand that you have to understand the mindset of who your partner is. If that person does not know how to, make themselves happy, or have their own friends, their own social network or whatnot, you're going to struggle. Which is what you guys notice.
It took me a while to understand that.
And I thought that, damn, maybe I'm just so nice. they want to just spend all their time with me. No, they just no. That's not what the case was.
Boyfriend.
They got into the relationship. They lost themselves. I mean, I can remember one time we play poker a lot. I want to go play poker. You as my girlfriend, you want to come and sit there and watch us play poker. It's just the guys. Now I have my friends over here. They want to talk about the fun they had the weekend before, and that. Oh,
Yeah, and can we pause? I think it's a good opportunity to share a point to people, right? So the idea, a lot of times, and this is in relationship. I don't want to make it sound like picking on women or vice versa.
Yeah.
There's a change in dynamic in an environment where you come with your partner, with your friends.
Yeah.
So whether it's your boyfriend coming to join you and your girl's doing something,
Definitely.
or whether it's your girl coming to join you and your boy's doing something, it really changes the way people speak, what they say, right? And for us guys, trust me, it depends on us. So like if I'm hanging out and Wale bring his babe, I know that what the things that I say and how I say things, I need to be more conscious on those things, and it changes the environment. So I'm like, Wale, and I would never tell Wale.
Don't go and set fire to something that
because you know obviously, but
Yeah.
Wale needs to be aware that that's
Don't bring a babe.
But Yemi, though, there are situations where everybody's hanging out with your partners and there are those situations. But the time where I just want to chill with my boys and whatnot, let's just relax and chill and yarn.
Yeah.
That's not where you want to come and
Watch
plant
EPL.
yourself. Like it doesn't work that way. But like I said, that understanding came with age and all of that. You have to understand. You have to have that conversation. Like you have friends, you can see they have friends. They are like if you want to tell me that you want to go hang out with your friend, go have fun. Cool. I'm going to hang out with my friend, and then when we do our thing, we do our thing. They are two completely different worlds, But I love.
No, I'm to be honest, I'm really trying to get my thoughts around this as well. I don't think I have a lot of sample size with
Sure.
issues.
Shall I remind you? Shall I help you remember?
Remind me.
Shall I help you remember? Shall I help you remember?
Wait, let me say.
Shall I help you remember?
Help me remember. Because I think I have purged some of this memory.
What?
No, Wale might be telling
jump
the
me.
truth. I think Wale is telling the truth because Wale had different issues that we didn't have.
Yeah, we have
I
different-
remember one
other
party.
issues.
I remember one party where one girl was jacking Wale, and we all took turns to go and beg the girl. Please leave Wale, please.
Like what?
Thank you. No, so the thing is, as much as that's a whole
Those are the
other
same
topic that I
ones.
want to
Those are the
talk-
stories that I remember.
Balancing relationship and friendship. Let's just put it that way. He sucked at it. It's not his fault. It's just the guy is. I say I'm free spirited, but I think Wale is.
He's the spirit.
Wale is an ego when it comes to it. He doesn't move amongst fox or anything.
Finish your point.
No. The issue, I think the issue Wale had is his girlfriend and his female friends. That might have been Wale's issue.
Those were the issues I had.
Yeah.
Those
Maybe
were-
not his male
Nah,
friends.
those were the kind of ones I had. So it wasn't, and I think generally we're talking about like this group, but I don't remember a lot of you're hanging out with this person, people too much, or that people. Like it would be the girl that I'm
worried about another girl.
right.
So
okay.
all you people that used to think Wale was the nicest one, you can hear him now. Wale will just tell you, "I'm going to go hang out with my friends and walk away." We will be there explaining.
How did we arrive at that?
I like what
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
right.
we have to find some balance. Like, listen, like Toke said, Tuesday, let's hang out. But Friday, I want to hang out with the boys. Wale will tell you Tuesday, I'm going to hang out with the boys. Saturday, spontaneous. I'm going to
I'm so shocked. I'm like clutching on my face. Like, where
because the phone popped up. The phone popped up. But
making it
hey,
juicy.
if you catch me on Sunday evening, then
We can't.
Yeah,
I think the girls were just happy and relieved that he was hanging out with the boys.
yeah.
And not with the other girls.
Oh, another angle.
Well, in case you didn't know, you thought this was your show.
it feels like one. It feels like an intervention.
Stokes. Wow, another angle. Nice. But that's fair. That's fair.
I think we should get off this topic now. I think
Next for you to ask the
Yeah,
guy.
God damn it.
I think it's a good time for a shot.
Yes, let's get a shot in. God damn it. God damn it.
What is that sweat?
That was a good one.
Quick sweat.
That was a good
You
one.
come get my cup.
That was a good one.
I thought Took was having my back. I sure was adding agenda.
All right. But no, But I appreciate you guys giving me feedback because I think it's an important balance to strike. And Steve, you made a very good point.
Yep.
I think it's really understanding who your partner is.
Yeah, you have to understand.
And you know what I mean, and be conscious of that because I don't think women or men or your partner in a relationship, I don't think the idea is to stop your fun or don't want you to have
Shouldn't.
fun. I
Don't
think
lose
is that there is a balance to it. Like there's,
definitely.
like if I'm in a relationship with you, obviously, I hope you seek to one time with me. I hope you do.
Yeah.
And it's not like you know what I mean.
Yeah, this is the DNI and me coming out. Inclusion.
That's growth. That's growth.
I think it's a fact that like, come on, like, and if you don't have time with me, then maybe we shouldn't be together, and let's establish that. Don't tell me all these things in the room, and then when it's time to go have a good time, all of a sudden you don't want to spend time with me, or you don't want to, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a good example. I'm seeing you on the boats, kicking it with your boys,
I went through that.
popping champagne, smoking cigars. But the most you and I do is go grab dinner at Chance.
She wants to be on the boat too.
Me too. I like boats now.
I got bikinis. I got bikinis of the
So
year.
that's why you now plan something where you
Of
guys
course,
also
and
do
I
that.
think men, and the reason I'm saying is because I think men as well need to understand they have a sense of responsibility.
They have
Let me
You
tell
have
you
to do that
something.
to
Let me
your
tell you
partners.
what's going on right now, and I have to shut this shit down.
Sharp.
First of all, we're talking about our past. Don't come here with this mature shit.
Thank you, Wale.
Like this is how you've always been.
that's
Oh
always
no!
been.
So now I'm
That's
going
my
to I'm going to even the ground
Yeah.
here and ask this next question is basically like I want because again 24 years.
Yeah.
Over time we've evolved in a lot of thinking. All these things here and there.
Yep.
How has your perception on relationships changed from as early as you can remember to now?
Yeah.
Oh, tremendous. I can kick this one off. And I'll kick it off by just telling quick stories. And I want to keep it short so I'm not long-winded like Steve.
That's fair. I talk a lot sometimes when I'm having fun.
So my relationship started very, very early. And it started... at the age
What's
of-
early?
I was about to...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We don't play out here.
But that was
It started as early as 15. And at the time, I will tell you that 99% of the dates or activity I had with women was in partnership with Wale. So every date we had that I went on
Double date.
had to be double date.
tag team.
That was the only way. And there were reasons why. One, obviously, because I enjoyed the time I spent with Wale, and two, our economic position together
Our
was
power.
more
Combined
Stronger,
resources.
yeah.
as a right, you know what I mean? Taking a date out on a date one-on-one at that age. This is when you were getting pocket money.
You
There
bring
was
the
no-
car, you bring the cash.
You bring the car. And we'll go beg. Imagine we beg for cash. We get cash. Someone will get car. Anyway, so I grew up in that way of, X, Y, and Z. So when the way I viewed relationship at the time, it was a nice to have. It wasn't something that I thought to invest in. Nothing I thought to commit to. It was just more of like, I'm going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. And then we'll figure out the next day. Right. And this was the way that I lived for a very, very long time.
It's wild.
And then it starts to get to the point where
There's a dependency.
there is like an expectation out of me now. So if you're my boyfriend, there are certain expectations that you have to uphold.
You have a boy? You had a boyfriend?
No, as a boyfriend.
I think I was speaking of, he did switch
Was that
perspectives
over
quick.
there?
You said as a boyfriend, as my boyfriend. Right?
okay.
But
Oh, yeah, I was speaking-
You're speaking on the perspective. Right, we got you.
Yeah, I haven't had a.
Yeah, we gotta check.
boyfriend,
We gotta check.
but Nothing
We
wrong
gotta
with that. But so my point is, so the journey that I went on for me was this journey of. I thought relationships was two people who really had a good time. I looked at relationships like I look at friendship with my boys. It's just that you were a female, but then there's a sense of mutual respect, loyalty that we want to build with each other, right? So I'm not banging other girls and obviously letting you find about it. If I do that, which I have done that, I want to make sure that it doesn't come back to you, so it doesn't hurt you, right? So that's that. But then as I've grown older, as become more mature, I realized that other life things begin to happen where they hold a high priority, where my investment in just catching fun is no longer what I enjoy in a partnership with a woman, right? So at a young age, it was catch fun. It was how she looked, You know, Yash, are we good? You know, everything was good. That was what it was about for me, and it was sweet.
Yeah.
And as I started getting older, it started realizing like there's a sense of stability I want that person to have. There's a sense of ambition I hope for them to have. There are other things that started playing more than just the physical presence. You know, even though the physical presence still was what attracted me initially to even start a
The booty
conversation.
still count.
Yeah, let's not get it twisted, right?
Yeah.
But the importance of the existence of the other things became more important in terms of sustaining that relationship. And then I get to the point of where I've been married before, and I am divorced.
Hold on. I mean, you got a bit long-winded there, so let me just
Mr.
right there. And I think that's a perfect segue. I think that's a perfect
offense.
segue. I think that's a perfect segue to talk about our perception of what marriage, you know, is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a good time to talk about that.
Yeah,
I want to.
Which is fair. Tell the context.
fair. No,
Steve,
because-
you're married.
Yeah, I'm married.
Well, you're single.
Yeah,
I'm a divorcee.
yeah. So,
All right.
for
So,
me,
a good lens.
Good. So I got married in 2018. You know, and before then, obviously, you need. Yeah, I know. You need you need to be in the relationship before you get to marriage, right? At least for me. But I realized something when I met my wife that I was actually very good friends with my wife. Like, you know, people are talking about lovey-dovey shit and all of that. You know, after all that, your eye will clear. Then who do you have living with you in that same space? Is this somebody that is a roommate or somebody you're best friends with? Like, me and my wife, we talk about everything. Everything. My wife talks a lot. She said I talk a lot, but I don't talk a lot. I have to keep up with her. You know what I'm saying? But I
Shout out
realized
to Madame.
but I realized that I wasn't really good friends with the people I was with in my past relationships. I wasn't really good friends with them. It's just like, this guy's like Yemi would say, oh, nice Yash, nice Bobby, oh, Seth, oh, let's date. You know, holla, spit my game.
What is set?
It's like, oh, Seth, go.
That's-
You know, but I realized that I was not friends with the women I was in a relationship with. But with my wife, we actually became so the funny story. I got in a relationship, I was just chilling. You know, my sisters-in-law were like, let me hook you up with this girl, she's from a good family with us. I don't want to deal with anybody, Jerry. And I said, no, just talk to her. I like, okay, fine. 2 weeks passed. Have you called her? I said, no. Call this girl. I said, fine. So I picked up the phone. My wife will tell you. She tells this story a lot. And I call her, listen. I said, how you doing? Listen, to tell you the truth, I'm just hitting you up because my in-law is disturbing me. So she'll tell you, real story. She busted out laughing. She's like, oh my God, that's so silly. That conversation ended up going an hour. We're talking about everything. From there, we talked for like 4 months straight before I actually physically saw my wife. And from there, you know, the rest was history.
So would you say the strength of your relationship or your friendship was communication?
It was communication is a big part of it. But like I said, friendship, which communication you have to be able to communicate with your friends. But understanding what marriage was like, you know, looking at my parents, they're two completely different individuals, but they made it work. They're still married and all of that.
Yeah, so, sorry to be surgical, but
Yeah.
when you say friendship, can you define that?
Can I define friendship?
Yeah, because I want to know what makes
what
that
makes it friendship,
Yeah,
yeah.
what do you mean? Why couldn't you be friends with your other exes?
Yeah.
You know, what was there?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So for me, I was back, you know, in the past. I just looked at a girl like physically she was hot. I liked what I was saying. I hollered at her. We started dating. Then we have issues. We couldn't communicate properly. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe trust issues or whatever the case is. I didn't want to, you know, every time you're nagging or whatever the case is. I wasn't comfortable. But we're dating. But with my wife, it's like we talked about everything. We're cool. Like, you know, I felt
So
like
it's almost like he doesn't judge you. So
no.
It makes
My
it
wife-
easy for
see-
you to be as open
see,
as
my
possible.
My wife, I'll tell you this true story. When I was talking to my wife, before we got married, I was also talking to another girl that through a family friend. I showed them something. There was a video that you dropped. I think it was Nee's wedding or something like that.
Yeah,
I sent it to that one girl. And again, this girl very nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, this girl could definitely become my wife.
I know the story.
You know, I sent it to her, and you know, she sent me a long message, like almost 10 minutes. You know, just breaking me down and like, why would you why would you do that? What was I doing in the video? We're all in the pool having fun.
Rented a house, beach house.
Some woman was wearing your shorts.
Yeah,
It
so
actually wasn't his.
it wasn't my shorts. It wasn't my shorts. They were not my shorts. They were not my shorts, by the way. They were Tunde shorts. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Shout out to Tunde, by the
that's
way.
you are Tunde out there.
Tunde, you know, he's not here right now. But
It's not here.
he's not here. But my point is that, you know, I sent the video to her, and I got that. I sent it to my wife. My wife was like, "Man, you guys are having fun, oh man. Let me join you guys in having this fun. Is this how you guys rock?"
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a friend. This is a friend first before somebody in a relationship, before you even become, like I said, for me to make a decision that I was going to marry this woman, I already knew that, listen, whether it's year 1 or year 10.
I think you're making a big point there, because I feel, and I tell girls this all the time that I date, I say most of the time you're only hurt by your own expectations.
Yes.
You've created an expectation around what a
My wife does
relationship
not judge
should
me.
be, and now you're getting hurt by that when me and you have never agreed by these terms that we're speaking or arguing about.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of issue. I won't lie to you. And this whole idea of our show was based off of that. I feel there's a lot of conversations that need to be had amongst people that we really don't have.
Yeah.
All we do is, I look at a girl, I'm attracted to her.
Yep.
She has a good career,
Yeah.
you know, good background, upbringing,
Yep.
probably some of the same beliefs in life. And to me, I feel that's enough. But when you get to your older age and you find out what life responsibilities are,
Yep.
you'll find out that those things that you're looking at are not enough to judge
enough.
how you're going to spend the rest of your life with a woman, you know, through all these life, you know, issues and just things that happen.
Yep.
And so it's about having the right conversations now,
Yeah.
and having the and then finding out those things you have that are the same or the differences. And I think we don't have enough of that. So when I see relationships, I think back to relationships and arguments I had. It's like you're basically arguing with me based off a theory of what you think a relationship should be.
It's not the
Based
same.
not on
we
what
actually
you
are.
personally
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then how I feel. We should talk about ourselves and then see where we come together.
Yeah.
There is no perfect script. And a good example will be the Jada and Will Smith situation.
Yeah.
We've always looked at them as a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
But we're now finding out that they're not perfect.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop them from being a good relationship.
Yeah.
They have found their commonality.
yeah,
balance.
and
Yeah.
what works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all that
That's
really
all that
matters.
matters.
That's what's going to sustain them. Not the perfectness, not the idealness.
Don't look at your friends married and say, why is our
No,
husband like that?
it's-
It's not possible.
No, not at
You
all.
know what I'm
It's
saying? It's
really
not possible
about
at all.
building a relationship with a particular person.
Yeah.
And building that relationship is based on being open with that person.
And having a sense of mutual understanding amongst
Yes.
each other.
Bam.
And this pandemic really tested
tore
a lot of people, right?
yeah.
Tore a lot of
Yeah.
people
We spent
apart.
a lot more time
They
together.
said they
right?
said they're getting a lot of 911 calls on domestic violence, because you couldn't go anywhere. You're stuck with your partner in that same house,
You're
24/7.
forced to now
Right. So just imagine.
Actually, this is what you're living with. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is what you're living with.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't hide it.
work.
Yeah,
and
you
X,
can't-
Y, and Z.
you can't hide it.
Yeah. So imagine me now. I'm like, funny. I told my wife, like, listen, they can lock me in a cave for 100 days straight and I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? So I was comfortable. I was comfortable with my wife. Like, yeah, what's going on? Each day, like, what's going on? At some point, my wife, like, I want to go out. I want to go out and do something. Don't you want to chill with me anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have that issue because I was so comfortable with her before I got married. I was friends with
So
her.
Steve, from what you're saying, and just to wrap up your long-windedness, so can we put a shot clock? No, seriously, can we
Are
put
we
a shot
playing?
clock on
Are we
Steve?
playing
No,
lawn tennis or ping pong?
no, seriously.
I want to
Because
say
I feel
this
bad
has
for
been
Wale.
one of the easiest.
I'm the married
easiest
one, so I
ones to
got
host.
no.
I just have to sit back.
I'm the married one. I'm the married one, so I had enough to
Steve
talk
has
about.
been hugging his mic, and I'm tired. It's not from me. I was trying to get it to Wale so Wale can talk, because if I didn't cut
Wale
you
will
off,
tell you that he doesn't have enough sample size, but go ahead, Sean. I'm just saying. We said that.
First of all, since we're taking shots, you switched the topic from our relationship, Kitty, past before we even had it, Kitty. But we'll combine both.
Okay,
I'll
my
combine-
bad.
I'll combine- No, I
Because
don't
you
know.
mentioned
Actually,
marriage.
no,
I
actually,
thought I
better.
was segue.
Steve is excited about his marriage. So he
This
wanted,
is-
he
like,
can't wait to get to that topic.
I don't
So
know.
he wanted to talk about
From the
I
outside,
married the right one.
from the outside, no, from the outside it
Amen.
looks good. I have to tell you,
Amen.
like,
It's beautiful.
because no, for me, and I think everyone.
Shout
here
out to
knows-
Madame.
Shout out to Madame for sure. From everyone here knows, I've never really been an advocate for marriage. In fact, I used to say I would never get married from a very young age, and everyone used to tell me you're only saying that because you're young.
used to. I used to say.
Right? Yeah.
So you know
I'm coming back.
So?
No, I'm
Okay.
coming
I
back.
can't wait to hear it.
No, the thing is now my resolve in that mentality has actually strengthened. Like over time, like as everyone was saying, oh, when you get older, you will understand why marriage is necessary. But no, I understand it less.
You understand why it's necessary less.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So for me, if anything, that has been like it's been more of a confirmation that it's not for me, right? I think at a certain point I was almost like bashing marriage, and then you see people like Steve, and like other siblings here and there that it has worked, and then you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe there are people that this thing is for, and for those people, please. Go for it. We just have to, like, I feel like I want to be part of the movement that starts this thing that, we gotta change. Like, let's normalize people not getting married and not wanting to get married, and not feeling like it's a necessity for their life. For their life, yeah.
It's become culture, and everybody
Right,
feels
right. Like it has to, and
There are a lot
now
of
you're
not
forcing yourself to
successful
marry
people
people
because there are a lot of people depressed in marriages.
Yeah,
depressed
in marriage. Like, why? Like, go
Yeah.
out there and find yourself, and
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
So anyway, that's been my that's my take. Like,
And I also feel the only serious relationship can't just be marriage. I feel you can build a relationship with someone that doesn't have
That
to do
doesn't
with
lead to
marriage.
that.
But
You
it
learn-
can
learn- you
could
learn
still
so
be a
much from it.
lifetime type of partner,
Right.
partnership.
So for me, when I think about marriage, right, and I had a very interesting experience through my journey, but I think what I've come to now, and I've also had positions like Wally where I was like, I don't see myself ever getting married again, and I really don't. But I could never say never. Okay, but I think what I mean by that is, I now have expectations coming into sort of a partnership, right? So I think growing up as a young man, I never had much expectations of my partner in relationships beyond just the typical, we're hanging out, we're having a good time. Like expectations from like what she does for a career,
What she
what
brings to
her
the table.
stability is, what our financial status is. I never cared about any of that because I was focused on mine. I'm trying to get mine. But I realized that for me to in partnership with someone, I feel like there is a need that this individual has a ambition and has a sense of stability towards their goals that somehow aligns with mine without her having to compromise because I'm a boyfriend. If that makes any sense. So meaning like I'm on a journey and I'm clear for the first time in probably my entire existence. I am clear on what I am hoping to accomplish. I am clear on it. I know what that is. I know what I'm not good at. And I know what I'm somewhat good at. And I know in some cases my areas of opportunity. I know these things clear. What I don't want is that notion of you and I are dating, and because we have committed to each other verbally, I'm going to start to compromise to support you and your goals. That I don't want. I want a person who has goals just as much as I'm aligned with what I want to do.
So it's like,
this
get your goals, I'll get my goals, and then we'll find a way to support
If
each other.
we- yes,
if there's room for that within
like
that.
I want us to stay individuals in this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
So when
it's
she
so
talks about
necessary.
friendship and X, Y, and Z, to me, what friendship is, when I look at Wale, I look at Steve, I cannot remember how many times Wale has said something to me that doesn't align with me. It's happened numerous times.
Yeah.
But I cannot remember a single time
What you
that
said
thing.
about Coach Zedira is a bit rude, just so you know.
Let me finish my point. but at the same time, it has never had me feel any type of way about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even though these things don't align,
Yeah.
it doesn't get to the point where my feelings shift, change. If anything, the respect builds or the curiosity to understand his point of view builds.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm looking for, or with Steve, or with Tokes, or with Saeed, or with Tunde, or whoever the person is. So I'm hoping for a partnership where that person can be confident in who they are and what they're trying to get done, and not try to compromise for me to make a title work, but be focused on achieving the things they want to achieve. And if it's not always going to align.
Yeah. It's not always going to align.
And that's okay.
That's just
Then
fact.
you and I just don't align, and it's okay. And I want to align with the ones that naturally align. I don't want to have to compromise.
Yeah, so let me get back to what you said, okay? You said that now, as you have gotten older, you're looking for the ones that actually have their things aligned and you have your things aligned, and you want to make sure that those things come together. My response to that is that even when you still have that, there's going to be some struggle. There's going to be some struggle because you have to grow together. It's not just yourself. You have your things, laid out perfectly for you. You have your cards laid out. She has her card laid out. But who is to say that those two combined is not going to cause a catastrophe? You know what I'm saying? So there's still some growth that's going to happen with that. So that's why you take things, easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, does this work? We keep this. Does it not work? Let's discuss. It doesn't work, put it aside. And that's what I need to say to you in regards to that.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. I think from Yemi's statement, he's in agreement.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if we're going this direction, and that's why I said the key thing is as long as you're not compromising yourself, and I don't have to compromise myself. So because we're aligned doesn't mean we're still necessarily meant to be together. That journey itself can take you far away from each other, and we should be able to say.
Sorry to jump in, but I feel for me as in life, I think that's one of my biggest issues with a lot of people, especially with this social media era, is that everybody feels we always have to be aligned. And I don't think so.
Right.
I
It
feel
doesn't
like
work that way.
there's some understanding that can happen. We can be different. We might not agree, but I understand that.
But I understand your point of view. I understand your point of view.
And if that makes you sane and it works for you, and it doesn't disturb me, then I'm cool with it. So I just don't feel I should disagree with just because even if it doesn't disturb me, I just want to disagree with you.
Right.
It may
I
not
don't think
work.
that should be
That should be the
You
case,
throw it
right,
away.
yeah.
You throw that part away. Like, it's not going to work. Just,
No, but you guys, first of all,
Yeah.
we had so many topics aligned. For
Yeah,
this
yeah,
topic.
yeah.
For this thing, I did not imagine that it would take
Steve
so long.
talks too long. Shut
That's
up.
it. So real quick, this has
I
turned,
got experience,
turned
man.
into. Look
I
at
got
you,
experience.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Okay,
We are turning this into a two-part series
Let
because
us
of you.
we love mute Steve. Mute Steve's microphone.
Hey, listen, you guys barely have me on camera. When you have me
This
on
is
camera, let
true.
me yarn.
This is true. That's why I'm not mad. We gotta let you yarn. So we're turning this into a two-part series. It's been fun. We don't want to slow these things down. We want all the words to come out. So we're gonna turn it into a two-part series. This is the end of this particular episode, but the continuation is coming right after.
You gotta take a shot to that one.
We gotta take a shot to that.
You gotta take a shot to that. Let's close that.
Cheers, mates.
Yo, you guys, thanks for coming. This was
Contact with the cheers, please.
this was excellent.
Salutes.